Yeah.
Can you not hear me? Is that better?
Yeah. Yeah, right. I'll just let you move just to the side a wee bit so I don't have that board behind me.
Go for it.
Perfect, mate.
Oh yeah. How's things over there since you guys have finished?
Yeah, no, all good. Just in like a bit of a wrap up and sort of clean up period. So no, it's good. It's good, man. Just the end of season stuff's pretty traditional, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny we're getting to that now with the final coming up tomorrow,
Yes.
and I'm thinking we'll probably do one more after the final,
Nice. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
and then I'll give you some information on what I'm doing after that because I'm going to
Cool.
keep going, but with different things, and I'll talk about that with you next week.
Great.
And I'll probably talk about a bit of that in the highlight reel for after the final. Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah, because there's some cool. I've got some cool people lined up to do um, golf, racing, and how to recover during off season.
That's
So
awesome.
got people coming on board to help me with that. So that'd be quite cool.
No, that'd be brilliant. Yeah, I think casting your net wide is great. You know, having a bit of a portfolio of sports, that's really good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we'll go into the Southern Kike game. I managed to go
Yeah.
chat to Macca and yeah, had a bit of a breakdown with him. So, what were your thoughts on it?
Tough being a Southern supporter and you're on the the losing end of a semi final, but it was a good game. That could have gone completely either way, and it went down to a monster scrum from Kaikorai to get that penalty. That Ben Miller was able to slot. So, no, I mean it was a game dominated by defense, and I think both teams just threw everything at each other, and ultimately Kike had what it mattered at the end of the game, and that was that winning scrum, which was great. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's a bit catch 22 when they get the scrum against Southern, who's been pretty dominant at scrum time all year, but that's just the way it goes. And Kike deserve to be in that final. They've had a great season, and I think they've built into the season really nicely as the rounds have progressed, and I think they've set themselves up for having a good crack at Harbour this Saturday.
Yeah, and that says lots about Hunts and their team.
Okay.
Yeah, you know
Yeah,
what I mean. And having a chat to him during the season was quite eye-opening when he talked more about he was doing more one-on-one coaching because they're a young side. And
yeah,
as if you have older players, you don't tend to coach them one-on-one. You tend to coach overall because you
yeah,
tend to think that the older players actually should know what they're doing. And
yeah,
yeah, so yeah, catch me. I'm happy for Kike. I'm happy for Hunts and the team to make the final. So yeah,
yeah. No, no,
after
totally.
yeah, after talking with Macca, he says that's another one of those games that got away on them. He felt
Yeah,
they had what it took to win, but a couple of errors on their behalf, leading them score, as you said, that scrum penalty. I think their first try by Kike in the first half, that was on a turnover from Big Mika. So, it's just those wee mistakes that can turn a game. But at the end of the day, you've got to win it, and Kike did
yeah.
really well to make the final.
No, yeah. It's a game of fine margins at the best of times, and yeah, I mean you've got to be on your A game. So yeah, they'll come back stronger, and I'm sure. But yeah, good
Yeah.
on them.
I'm looking forward to watching the final. And so the Tyree Harbour game, I felt for Tyree because they were short.
Yeah,
As players were pulled, they had injuries. The two Funga brothers were out. So I felt like they were pushing, for them to win it, it would have been a big team effort by Tyree to get in there, especially when Harbour in that last 20 just well, they had more in the tank at the end, so it was good on Harbour to get there in the end.
no, it definitely was. Yep, no, pumped for Harbour, and yeah, Tyree. They certainly gave it a good go at it. And they almost got the job done. So no, I think obviously, Nathan Hasty really made a difference for Harbour, but there are a lot of their forwards have been great all season, and they really stepped up again. So, no, I think Harbour have done a great job collectively as a club this year, and they deserve to be in the final as well. So, I mean. Yeah, I think the two most consistent teams are in the final this year, and I think it's good to see.
Yeah, yeah. As I talked to Pete and that and Craig, and their wee inconsistency in the middle of the year, but when they turned around and you need to play final footy, they were on the up.
Yeah,
And you get that momentum and you carry on. So it's really good to see they did that, and it was pretty cool because for me that was the first team I talked to at the preseason, talked to,
yeah,
and they had, if you go back to the very first interview I had with Pete and their club, it was and they had laid the plans then, and as I said, they weren't even in the top six last year, and
yeah.
to get to where they are and rebuild a program. And as we had identified at the beginning of the season, was how are they going to come together as a team with new coaching staff, new players, and they've ticked every box. They've just got to tick one more.
No, that's it. No, and it's cool for Harbour's one of those unique clubs that have a community out there. Port Chalmers behind them, so that's really special for them, and hopefully they get a good showing of fans out to Forsyth Bar. But no, it'll be a really good final under the roof, no doubt about that.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll go look at the strengths of the sides. I think coming up to the final, it's going to be anyone's game. You're playing on that lovely surface out at under the roof, and so that's a leveler in itself. So it's fast and hard rugby. I think Kaik are a more balanced side. They're going to go for 80 minutes. You know what I mean? And we're a Harbour, there are a few more bigger boys in there, and they've got a bit more talent, but they're a bit up and down. You know what I mean? They're a bit up and down, and so it's going to be a great contest on who comes out on top and wins it.
Yeah, no, for sure. A Harbour are going to look to take Kaik on up front, first and foremost. And I think win that physicality and that battle at set piece time. So you're right, Kaik is certainly a side that'll stick in there for 80 minutes. And Kaik, if Kaik can win those big moments and get a couple of those big moments going their way, it could set them up for a win. But I mean, if Harbour are on song and everything's clicking, they're a really tough team to stop, and they've got experience. Guys like Aleki Morris Lome and Waisaki Naholo out there on the wing, just to name a couple. So I think it's in finals where those experienced players can really step up. And Kaik aren't the most experienced side. They've certainly got a couple like Slade McDowell, and I think Will Tucker's playing, so that'll help. But yeah, it's hard to pick. But I think I remember witnessing the Varsity Harbour draw back in 2017, and it was a bit of a lull because they're going to share the shield. So I'd certainly love to see Harbour win it, just for the sake of them being patient and sticking at it.
Yeah, and like we've got our old Southern coaches there, Pete and Craig.
Yeah,
And it was great to have a port after the game with them and celebrate with the team. It was really, really cool to go in and see them. Yeah, so I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm going to back those two guys and the Harbour team, and get out there and I'm really looking forward to just a good game of footy and celebrating rugby at the end of the season.
yeah, no, exactly. It's really cool, and it's good. We've got the majority of the Otago, NPC players playing in the final as well, which is good. And I saw Otago play Southland on, was it tomorrow or is it today there? It's today there, I
So
think.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so a bit of a pre-season hit out there. So it's a cool weekend of rugby. Yeah, and that'll be a good game as well. Otago Southland to watch. I think
Yeah,
Southland might. I'm an Otago supporter, but Southland's named a good squad, so that'll
yeah.
be interesting.
Yeah, and I love what Southland are doing, like the communities behind them.
Yeah,
Southland Stags, they've got that wee cult following they have down there.
yeah,
Something that Otago are missing now. Like we always used to have the students that followed Otago rugby, and now
totally.
it's not there. I feel Otago need to do a bit more work around that area of promoting themselves. You
Yeah,
I've talked to Warren and a few of them, and I says, why don't we rename the side, Moa, Otago Moa, because you get Moa bones around here in Otago, especially up in Oamaru and stuff like that. The big Moas. It was one of those ideas I've come up with, and yeah, so hopefully they go on, hey, Moa, let's do it.
nah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's good of. there's lots of different things that make it challenging being in the NPC. Obviously, being at a stadium of that size and that cost is it's tough.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. I think there are some different initiatives that Otago need to take to appeal more to those students. Where Dunedin's very unique that it's got that scarfy environment around it, and we need all those students coming to those games. So
Yeah, not only students, but the young, young families,
yeah,
young country boys that come in from out of town and
yeah,
bring their four-wheel drives in and come and watch a bit of footy because rugby out in the country is doing really well.
yeah.
Like we've got finals coming up for not only that South Otago competition, Central competition, and they're packed. The grounds are packed. You
That's
know,
great.
they're enjoying their footy. So and we just
No, it'd be great to take a. I remember in was it 2019 we took a couple of Ranfurly Shield defences on the road. I think we played in Oamaru and Wanaka, and that was just like a wonderful thing to be a part of. So if they can take more games down to the country and to South Otago as well, I think it's only good. Obviously it comes at a cost, and it's not easy moving things on the road when you've got such a plug and play venue like Forsyth Bar. Everything's there and ready to go. You sort of have to meet requirements at other venues. But I think it certainly could be good if they can look to do that in the next couple of years.
Yeah. So you've watched the competition over the season, and
Yep.
so who are a couple of standout players in the competition overall to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go past Mackenzie Palmer. Like I've been watching Macca for years, and even though I'm a Southern supporter, he's just, I think, pound for pound, the most talented player in club rugby, and it's cool to see him on the bench for Otago today as well. That's good recognition for him. So I think in the backs it'd be Macca. I think if I was to name like a rookie back, I think Rike Milne out of Harbour, the 10, he's announced himself onto the scene really, really well. And I think he's got a big future ahead of him, and I heard he's in the Otago mix, which is great as well. In the forwards, in the locking department, I really liked the kid Ruben Palmer from Dunedin. I think he's got a good frame and good motor on him, and he works hard. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed to not see him in that. I guess Otago setup. Maybe he's in the wider squad. I don't know. I could be talking out of turn, but he's one that's really impressed me as well. Trying to scratch my head. Who else? I mean, for Kike, Lucas Casey,
Yeah.
obviously he's a standout as well. He's in that Otago squad I saw. I guess on the other side of the coin, one that I'm really, really proud of it for sticking at it is Bob Martin getting named to the Otago squad. I don't think he's played a lot for Tyree this year, but that's just a guy who's gone about his work quietly, and he was trying to push for Otago when I was there 5, 6 years ago, and to see him named now is just a really awesome thing for him. So he should be really proud of himself.
Yeah, and I think one of the standout players, not like I'm a bit like you, a bit biased, is Harry Taylor. He
Yes.
he was always on the stat sheet every week when he was
Yeah.
playing. He was one of the top performers all the way through the competition. Uh,
Yeah.
I tend to think he plays better at six, but his speed around the park now was faster than last year. And I'm hoping he does really well at NPC and he's looking at a
Yeah.
super contract at the end of it. So,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
Harry's a phenomenal player, and if he doesn't get super, I don't think he'd have an issue picking up something in Major League Rugby or somewhere overseas. He's great, and he's a good leader.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, I mean, I'd say you can name the Form 15 next week, and I'll do a bit more research. But yeah, I mean, there's
yeah,
lots of standouts there, and it's cool to see in the Otago squad that there's some of those club guys that are getting recognised. It looks like there's a couple of overseas boys that have been brought in as well, which
yeah,
which always interests me slightly.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into that in too much detail.
Yeah, the concern for me is, they've named Fabian in there,
Yeah,
but it's only three locks they've named.
yeah,
I also know, like Harry comes in as jumper as well, so
mm,
there's a bit of cover, but I think they're a bit light on the cover there. But besides that, I'm pretty happy with the team. The bit short in the backs. There's a few more injuries out there, so got
yeah. I mean,
some
I
cover
think
coming
we'll
in.
I don't know what the stat is, but historically in an MP season, you're using probably 15 to 16 non-contracted boys throughout the season. So there's going to be boys that get an opportunity. There's no doubt about that. And I think they've already got a little bit of an injury list at the moment, not a laundry
Yeah,
list, a laundry list of injuries.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, there'll be guys that get a chance, and that's great. And today's, I guess, the first chance for some of those boys in that preseason game to put their hands up. So I'd love, I'd love Macca to get a cap, to get an NPC cap. That'd be really cool.
yeah. And just to show him how actually good he is, and like he just makes something out of nothing. He did that last year in the trial game, preseason game last year against Southland. So he scored 2 tries last year in the Southland
Yeah,
preseason game.
I think he can compete at that level.
Yeah,
Well, I think last year there were more opportunities available, but I think he had to work, and obviously his beautiful child was going through some struggles as well, and no, to see him back getting a crack today is a test to who he is. He's stuck at it.
yeah. No, that's awesome. So yeah, we'll do our Form 15 next week. I've already picked one.
Yeah,
I've sent you my wee picks.
yeah,
It's pretty
yeah,
biased.
yeah. Send him over. I'll do some
Yeah,
research.
yeah. I'll send you that, and I'll get the stats off Staples, and he'll do by stats the Form 15.
Cool.
We'll
No,
see.
that sounds
See
good.
how close we are.
Yeah, you might. I'll say I haven't watched every game in full, so you'll probably
Yeah. No, you're
you'll
right.
probably get me on it. But no, it's good. It's no, it's cool to see the Premier Rugby comp still going strong. It's been a good season, and it's cool to have a couple of fresh finalists. It's historically Tyree that have been dominating the finals. So
Yeah.
no, I'm looking forward to tuning in. I think it's what time's it there? It'll be 3 o'clock on Saturday. So yeah, I
Yeah.
might be asleep, but I'll
Yeah.
watch it. So
Yeah. I think it's on Elevate. I've put a link in on my Facebook. I'll put a link
great.
on this. Yeah. So yeah. So and I think it's streamed through the ODT as well. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to catch up with Staples in a minute and see where we're at. So yeah, we'll catch you next week for the last show. How's that sound?
That sounds good to me, mate. Appreciate it.
Cheers, Wheels.
Cheers. I see you, mate.
See you, mate. Bye.